And hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the No Particular Order or Just Give a Shit podcast. I am your host for today and foreseeable future, Gladys Tyler. You can find me on Twitter at Gladys L. Tyler. Thank you all for joining. And let's get this started because now we only have 32 minutes. This is a 33-minute podcast. I like the number three. That's the only reason it's 33 minutes. And if you are on Twitter, I cannot get your tweets. If you're like asking a question or you're joining and you want to just join in the conversation, if you're on Twitter, I can't get your tweets. So just hop over to like, I don't know, Facebook or YouTube or some other thing if you want to join in the chat. Much appreciated. If you're on YouTube, much appreciated if you smash that like button because I think that just helps me validates me a little bit, and I like validation. This will be, and this is so scary to say, this will be probably the last episode of November because I have a feeling like this time next Thursday, I will be in probably one of the most epic food comas ever known to man or woman, and probably napping while the games are going on because I don't really plan ahead, but if I was planning ahead and if I did plan ahead, that is what I would plan ahead to do. And I am very excited for that plan. And I just thought of this as I won't be able to converse with any of you on Thanksgiving or most of you on Thanksgiving because I probably will also have my phone off because it interferes with napping. I want to let you know that I am extremely thankful for each and every one of you who choose to spend a little bit of your time with me, any of your time with me, some of your time with me. It's I want you to know that I'm very thankful for the energy that you give and for the time that you're sitting in front of your whatever and listening to me rattle on. I appreciate you very, very much. So thank you. That's my pre-Thanksgiving thankfulness, but I'm thankful for you all the time, every time, even post-Thanksgiving. So let's get started. Then we're gonna do the hero of the week, and I'm gonna save that for later because it has to do with actually for tonight's show. I mean tonight's the Thursday night game, sort of like a walk into the game. So we will do one thing. Congratulate UConn head coach, women's head basketball coach Gino Ariema, on becoming the winningest male or female basketball coach last night with his win. Dude, Ariema has been coaching for 40 years. He's been coaching basketball for 40 years. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Terry. I'm very thankful for you too, Terry. And I'm thankful for you too, Joni. And just so everyone knows, because, just to make it apparent, Jamie is my hero every week, but like he's not, I understand he can't be everyone's hero every week if he's mine. So that's why I choose another hero. But Jamie is my hero every week, as is Terry, as is Jesse, as is Ramon. So congratulations to Gino Ariema on his 1,217th victory. 40 years coaching basketball. I can't even imagine doing anything for 40 years straight because that's, hello, Ramon, because that is just absolutely friggin' ridiculous. Um, Small businesses. Last week we did Ramon Census and please, 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 if you have time, when you have time, because you will have time. Like I said, next week everyone's going to be in a food coma. Go on TikTok and look up his Census and And then if you just want something homemade that you didn't make, but someone else made it at home, go to Jesse Patterson's Etsy account. I believe it's CO and PA. Oh, I have it written down here somewhere, and I will find it for you. That you should go and check it out. It's CO. Oh, I don't have it. I'm so sorry, Jesse. Oh, I do have it. It's COPA and CO on Etsy. Jesse's account. COPA and CO. Homemade gifts for people. You can tell them that you made it even if you didn't, because they're going to be looking that good. And then on TikTok, Census Sampri for Ramon. And then the two new businesses are scrolling down here that you should go These are on Instagram. Both of them are on Instagram. Trink and Et Gems are really nice bracelets and necklaces that uh, Rianne and her partner make. You should check them out. I used them in baskets that I had made for people a couple months back, and they love them. They're just really great, and they're really great price. And then KPS underscore designs for you are he makes cutting boards, but he also does so much more. But I have a cutting board that he made. It's Kelly Schmidt. But he can make almost anything for you and get it done before Christmas time. He can send it to you. You'll have it. It's just like you're supporting small businesses and you're getting great gifts. What more could you want? There is not much more you could want. That's the beauty of everything right there. Everything. You have all feel goods. Oh, Jamie, that's so not true. You have the beauty of all feel goods, and I don't know. I think right now it's time everyone should try to get all the feel goods they can get. And speaking of which, the two Instagram accounts that you should be looking up. And remember last week I told you about one. It's Pete Fleck. Pete Flack. Flack. First name Pete on Instagram. This is the guy that he is the only sane person in a horror movie. He's the only sane person in going to Vegas. And he's the last week he was like a New Jersey delicatessen guy. He's just so hilariously funny, and you will love him as much as I do. The second one is if you like snarky, and I do. It's Nikki C. Bell, and what he does is people that are on going to premieres, he talks about their clothes, whether he likes them or not, and he does it in a very uh, it's not mean. It's not mean spirited. It's very funny, and he's very snarky. And I think that at least the people I know will appreciate his sense of humor about it. So, Nikki C. Bell on Instagram, Pete Flack on Instagram. Those are the feel good. Those are the two feel good Instagram accounts that I think that you should look up. And if you guys have a feel good Instagram account that you think I should be looking at, please let me know because I can never have too many dogs that talk on my Instagram feed. I can never have too many snarky um, men judging women's dressing and men's dressings on the white carpet, red carpet, yellow carpet. I just can't. I can't. So if you have anything that you think I'm gonna like, just please send it to me. Hello, Jesse Patterson. Um, so also, Wicked started this premiere tomorrow, although Alamo Drafthouse it was showed it yesterday. I think that's going to be another feel good thing that you can do. And Red One, which is okay, I'm going to say this, and it could be wrong, but I don't think it is. Red One was specifically made for streaming, even though it's in theaters now. So spend your theater money on something else and wait for it to come streaming. But I think it's going to be extremely hilarious. They kidnap Santa Claus. They have to go get Chris Evans. It's The Rock with Lucy Flew. It's J.K. Simmons. The cast alone is worth waiting for the streaming. So wait for the streaming. On that, spend your money. See Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande and Wicked. Jeff Goldblum is the Wizard of Oz. Come on now. Jeff Goldblum is the Wizard of Oz. I don't think you can get much better than that. I would go see it for Jeff Goldblum being the Wizard of Oz. That's just where I am right now. Now, for those of you who did not read my article last week, we are going to get to the drink of the week for this week, which is last week's drink. But earmuffs again. The name of the drink is earmuffs, everyone. What the fuck just happened? And this is an actual drink. Like, I'm not making up these names. These drinks actually have these in it. This drink, if I drank still, I think I would go for this, especially Thanksgiving time. You will need 1 ounce of whiskey, your choice, whatever whiskey you want. 1 ounce of tequila, your choice, whatever tequila you want. 1 ounce of Frangelico or a hazelnut liqueur, ice, shake, rocks glass, fill with ice. If you're going to do a dirty dump, so after you shake, you're just going to dump everything that's in the shaker into the rocks glass, fill it up with rocks, and drink it. Now, you guys understand that probably the reason it's called What the Fuck Just Happened is because it's all alcohol. It's 3 ounces of alcohol. It's 1 ounce of whiskey, 1 ounce of tequila, 1 ounce of Frangelico. Shaken with ice, dirty dump, fill with ice, and drink. The Frangelico alone will make the drink, I think, will even out your tequila and your whiskey. I, personally, I think this drink sounds magnificent. And it kind of makes me sad that I don't drink anymore because I definitely would partake of it if I did. But I mean, you guys partake of it and let me know what you think because it just seems like a wonderfully beautiful thing. I think it's the Frangelico that has me. It definitely isn't the tequila because I'm not a tequila drinker, but the Frangelico will just like even everything out. Just think of drinking this while you have to be around. Wait, that didn't come out quite like a lie. Drinking this while you're around your family on Thanksgiving, because sometimes I know it can get a little ah. So in order to avoid that, you have the what the fuck just happened drink, and after you have a couple of them, that's probably what everyone around you will be asking, but you won't care. So 1 ounce of whiskey, 1 ounce of tequila, 1 ounce of Frangelico, ice, shake in a cocktail shaker, dirty dump it into a rocks glass, fill the rocks glass with more ice, drink, and you're there. All right. This week, the article will come out tomorrow on the Going for Two website. Last Call is called Last Call. It's premium, well, not choices for players, but it will also have a drink, and the drink is called the post apocalyptic drink. I really have trouble with that word. I don't know why. So even if you don't like play fantasy football, you can scoot on over to the Going for Two website. Look up that drink, look up the article for me, and then look up the drink. And boom, I love it. All right, let's get to our hero of the week because it's going to go right into the game tonight, sort of. The hero of the week is Thomas Brown. For those of you who don't follow football and which I know is like Terry and a couple others, Ramon follows, but he only follows the Broncos. Who, congratulations, Ramon, on your Broncos being like good, like good. And Jesse's, I think, is a Bronco fan. Um, Thomas Brown is now the offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears. They fired Shane Waldron, who was the offensive coordinator. Thomas Brown was the passing game coordinator, promoted to offensive coordinator, and immediately, like last week, you could see the change in the offense of the Bears. Now everyone knows, as you can tell by Severius' picture in the corner there, with his Steelers hat on. I don't know if you can tell he has a Steelers hat on, but Severius does have a Pittsburgh Steelers hat on. That you're welcome, my friend. That I am not a Bears fan. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a Bears fan. I'm a Steelers fan. But the reason that Thomas Brown is the hero is because I think that it's important to remember, and Thomas Brown is that remembrance, that these players, these players aren't on an island by themselves. So when you want to say, "Oh my God, this guy sucks. He shouldn't be playing football." I don't know if you can say that because, yeah, you know, he should be playing football or he wouldn't be there. And B, a lot of it depends on the coaching. Like if the coaches aren't copacetic with the players, yeah, they're gonna suck. Think of every job you've had and your manager or your boss. And if you are the boss, Jamie, think of like, are you helping the people that you're managing, or did your boss help you, or did they spend all the time in the office, or did they, kind of let you take the blame for stuff that rolled downhill? It's the same with football. It's the same with football. And yes, the Steelers play the Browns tonight. And from what I understand, the weather sucks in Cleveland. Shocker, November, weather sucks. I hear it's like, Jenny lives in Cleveland, I think, but it's supposed to be rain and snow, 20-mile-an-hour winds, 30-degree temperature or less. So let's get into the game for the next 17 minutes or so. Just remember, Thomas Brown, hero of the week, because he shows that, and it's something to remember if you're a manager or you're a boss or you're whatever. It's not, no one's on an island by themselves. No one is on an island by themselves. We are not on the island by ourselves. Although I know that it's starting to feel like it sometimes. Just remember, we're not. You're not. Okay? You're not by yourself. You're not alone. We're all in this together somehow, and we'll all get through this together. So, yeah, is it snow? So Ramon says, Ramon, are you in Ohio now? Or are you in Denver? Ramon's partner's family are in Ohio, and he goes and visits them sometimes. So Ramon might be in Ohio right now too, which is awesome. Okay, so it's Pittsburgh at Cleveland, divisional AFC North divisional game. Which I hate divisional games. I hate betting on divisional games. I hate doing props on divisional games because each team knows each other. So, everyone, say hello to CJ. CJ lives. He is in the island. CJ lives in Hawaii, and I cannot express my fond admiration for CJ. I He was he was the training manager when I worked at Hard Rock, and CJ exemplifies how he has everyone around him, below him, rise up because he is so great at what he does. I love CJ. Welcome, CJ, my friend. I'm also in one of his fantasy leagues, and I suck, so I'm sorry about that. Oh, so Ramon's still here. Ramon is still here. Ramon says hello to CJ. Aloha, CJ. I'm so glad you're here. All right, and CJ's also a Steelers fan, which doesn't hurt. So Steelers 3.5 favorite in Cleveland. Okay, the over under for this game is 36.5 points. So Vegas thinks that they will not score more than 36.5 points combined, right? It started at 39.5 points. It's dropped 3 points. It dropped 3 points, I guess, when the weather came out, maybe when the weather report came out. But that's not a lot of points, people. Neither of these teams, neither Vegas doesn't think either of these teams are going to score, which makes sense. Again, it's a divisional game. Weather's bad. Um, Here's the thing, though. Cleveland has Jameis Winston. Now, Jameis Winston is a better fantasy quarterback, I think, than he is a real life quarterback. But the best thing about Jameis Winston is that every team that he's ever been on that I know of, like every professional team, the players love him. Like they absolutely love Jameis Winston. And he's goofy and he's got a cannon for an arm, and he has averaged about, since he took over for the quarterback whose name we will not mention because he was just creepy, he has averaged at least 40 passing attempts per game. Now, even with the weather bad like it is, I have a feeling that Jameis Winston is still going to average at least 30 passing attempts per game this game. Whether he will complete them, now that's another question, but he will. If one of your prop bets is Jameis Winston's passing attempts, I know one of them is Russell Wilson's passing attempts, 26.5 over under. I would probably go under on that. But Jameis Winston, there's no way he's throwing less than 30 passing attempts, even in this weather. So keep that in mind when you're doing your prop bets. Also, keep in mind that Cleveland Browns defense isn't what they were last year. Okay, so last year Cleveland Browns defense, they had this really weird kind of dichotomy where they were so good at home. They were like the number one defense at home, and then like the number 16th defense when they were away from home. But they weren't so bad that they didn't average out to like a top 5 defense. This game is at home. They're not that defense this year. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was like for the first 10 games you're playing with a quarterback who literally sucks and who probably has questionable morals, and so you don't want him out there and he's not helping your team. And so, I mean, you got to think these guys are human, right? These guys have feelings like we do, and you're playing with a guy who's being overpaid for what he's producing and probably doesn't deserve to be overpaid or paid at all to throw a ball because of other things. So their defense has Miles Garrett still, who is a stud, yes, but they. So I have this stat here. Per Next Gen Stats, the Browns have the seventh lowest success rushing rate. So they're stopping the run at 37.6%. However, they are allowing the second highest explosive run rate at 15.3%. So they're stopping the run, yet they're allowing like one or two, three plays a game where a guy's going to rush for like 15 plus yards. We know as Steeler fans and as football fans that that's not going to be Najee Harris most likely. Like Najee Harris, out of the two running backs that the Steelers have, is not the explosive one. That would be Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren is the explosive back for the Steelers. Najee is the, I wouldn't even call him a bruiser back, but he's the bell cow. Like he's going to get the most carries. In the last 3 games, he's had 18, 21, and 19 carries, where Warren has had like 9, 14, and 9, although Warren has been hurt. Still, it's a stark difference. But when Warren gets the ball, he is, even by the eye test, even if you're not even looking at metrics, just watching him, Warren is way more explosive than Najee is. And Warren has had 7 red zone touches and 0 touchdowns. So they've given him the ball 7 times in the red zone, and he has no touchdowns from that. You would have to think a positive regression is coming from this, right? Like, if unless you're insane, and that's what the very definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. That's what football is, basically. That's what football is. And I just thought of that just now. Football is a practice in insanity. You keep giving Warren the ball in the red zone because sooner or later he's going to score a touchdown. It's just inevitable. It's the way it's going to be. So if you're betting, and keep in mind, if you're doing prop bets, weather bad, divisional game, Jameis Winston, Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line. Even though Alex Highsmith's not playing, you still got a defensive line that's formidable. Jaylen Warren, 7 touches inside the red zone against a team that has an 85%. Cleveland has, no team has a worse red zone percentage than Cleveland at home. 85% of people that get in the red zone in the Brown Stadium score, which again goes to Jaylen Warren, positive regression, right? So anytime touchdown, I think he's at right now plus 240 for anytime touchdown. Jaylen Warren. If the weather is as bad as we think it's going to be, it's going to be a sloppy run game, right? I mean, except if you're Jameis Winston and you're going to just try to chuck it, and I think they're going to let him. I don't see them reining him in. So we're going Jameis Winston over 30 passing attempts, Jaylen Warren anytime touchdown, and here's the big one that I think has a chance. Pittsburgh has 2 tight ends, Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington. Darnell Washington is a tight end in a linebacker's body. I think he weighs north of 250 pounds. He is a very, very big boy. Like, yeah, he's a big boy, has always been a big boy. He's a big boy when they drafted him. They drafted a linebacker for a tight end. Since Russell Wilson has been quarterback, Darnell Washington has ran the most routes of his career. He's been with Pittsburgh 2 years, maybe 3. I think 2. Okay, Browns allow the second most red zone targets to tight ends. Now, we have Arthur Smith, who is Pittsburgh's offensive coordinator, Pat Freiermuth, who is a tight end, and we have Darnell Washington, who has developed some chemistry with Russell Wilson. In the last 4 games, Russell Wilson has targeted Darnell Washington 12 times. Darnell Washington is coming in at plus 600 for an anytime touchdown. Now, if you have bad weather, if you have a windy conditions, and if you have snowy conditions, and if you have rainy conditions, you're going to run the ball. And if you're throwing the ball, you're going to throw a dump off, and you're going to throw it to someone who is big enough to withstand the conditions. Now, I'm guessing a man who has north of 250 has got like the opposite of Kenny Pickett's hands. Kenny Pickett is notorious for really small hands. I'm guessing Darnell Washington has like meat-sized paws for his hands. Now, I don't know that to be true, and that could be a gross generalization. And if it is, I'm very sorry, Mr. Washington. But my impression would be that they're just huge. And you're going to want to throw the ball. You're going to want to dump off the ball to that person. And you're going to want to dump off the ball for touchdowns to that person. Jamie says he is going to Russell Wilson under 11.5 rushing yards. And I agree with that, but I'm not sure. Najee Harris over 17.5 rushing attempts. Okay. 18, 21, 19. Yeah, okay. I can be down with both of those. But the two receiving, I cannot be down with. I am not down with Jerry Jeudy over 46.5 receiving yards. No. Elijah Moore over 33.5 receiving yards. The Elijah Moore I might be able to get behind. Jerry Jeudy I cannot get behind. But the 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 out of the 4, I am totally with you, Jamie. Russell Wilson under 11.5 rushing yards. Najee Harris over 17.5 rushing attempts. Elijah Moore over 33.5 receiving yards. Jamie is going with Jerry Jeudy over 46.5 receiving yards. I am going Jerry Jeudy under 46.5 receiving yards. I am also going Darnell Washington anytime touchdown and or Jalen Warren anytime touchdown. The only caveat is I would not do both of them because I don't think Pittsburgh's going to score that many touchdowns. 36.5 points, I don't think anyone's going to score that many touchdowns. So if you think the Steelers are going to score, you have to think, is it going to be a rushing score, Jalen Warren anytime touchdown, or do you think it will be a dump off score with Darnell Washington? I am with that too. I take the Steelers minus 3.5. Ooh, Jamie's teasing it up to 6.5. With the score being so low, I don't know that I would do that. I don't. No, I can't. Jamie's way braver than I am. I can't. I wouldn't go 6.5. 3.5, I would go. It's a divisional game. Like last week, the game with Baltimore, everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's going to be like 15.5 points." Neither team scored a touchdown. Like it was all field goals because it's a divisional game. They know each other intimately, and Steelers 23, Browns 13. No, I do not agree with that. That is Jamie is predicting Steelers 23, Browns 13. I'm going Steelers 13, Browns 9, maybe. And it's all going to be Chris Boswell kicking, except for the one touchdown. Whew. And I'm going to go Darnell Washington anytime touchdown because the odds are at 600. All right. So I know for all you who don't really bet and follow football that listen, thank you for sticking with me through that discourse because it is Thursday and so I have to speak on Thursday Night Football or else it's kind of like I don't know what's the word I'm looking for when you don't do something that you're supposed to do. Also, since we were talking about props, you need to like hop on over to Underdog if you are going to bet. Hop on over to Underdog. Underdog Fantasy sponsors going for 2, and we appreciate it. If your first time in the promo, put capital G, capital F, numeral 2, and you will get a matching deposit up to I think 250, maybe more. But if you're putting more than 250 down, yikes! Um, Good on you. Way to go. Jamie says Steelers get 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals. Browns get 1 touchdown and 3 field goals. Okay. Again, I'm going to have to not agree with that because I think the weather's too. I'm. Ooh, I don't think. Sorry, 2 field goals for the Browns. Um, it's going to be hard kicking out there, man. It's going to be hard kicking with the weather. If the winds are like 20 plus miles an hour, come on now. The winds are 20 plus miles an hour. You think I I can't. I think there will be more touchdowns than field goals because I think it would be easier to run the ball in or short pass the ball in than to kick it in those kind of conditions, in those weather conditions, if the weather conditions are as stated. Okay. And again, sorry again. So for those of you who follow, who are listening, who aren't particularly football people, I appreciate you very much. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for listening. I would like to know what you're going to have for Thanksgiving dinner. I personally am going to try to cook a Haitian vegan macaroni and cheese. That was a really weird segue, wasn't it, just now? I don't care. That's why it's called in no particular order. Um, I'm going to try to cook Haitian vegan macaroni and cheese with cream spinach and peanut butter chocolate chip and walnut cookies. Like it's all one cookie. Like because I have to make some peanut butter treats for the dogs. Um, he just looked out the window. Jamie just looked out the window, and there's no snow and no wind. Good on you, Jamie. I don't know why I found that so amusing. I guess because he had to look out the window to see the weather. But anyway, for everyone listening, I want you to know once again how much I appreciate you listening to my ramblings on Thursday night um, before your football game. Also, I want you to know how much I sincerely appreciate you listening to my ramblings on Thursday night before the Thursday night football game in no particular order. I will not be here, like I said, next Thursday because, again, I will be in probably one of the most epic food comas that I can possibly conceive for myself and taking a nap with the 2 dogs and then getting back up and having another food coma. Those are my plans. They could go awry, but that's what I'm planning right now. I wish all of you the most blessed week, the most blessed Thanksgiving. And just remember, things can look bad, but it's going to be okay. We're going to be okay because we have each other. We have each other. Again, small businesses, you guys, come on. You're gonna buy stuff. You're gonna buy stuff for friends and family for the holidays. Go on Instagram. Check out Rianne's store at Trink underscore ET Gems. Check out Kelly's cutting boards. Sorry, well, KPS Designs for you. And then go on Etsy and check out COPA and Company, which is Jesse's store, and go on TikTok and check out Sense of Priest Lotions, which is Ramon's store. You're gonna buy from small businesses. Ooh, yowza. Dirty rice, corn, green beans, macaroni and cheese, cornbread, sweet potato pie. Ramon loves his sweet potato pie. And red velvet cinnamon roll. Whoa! Ramon, I think you just won Thanksgiving. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Ramon. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Jamie. And thank you, CJ. I am so happy you are here. I love all of you. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye now.